What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jordan and today we're going to be cleaning and refurbishing the blinker stock on the Datsun 280Z, so stick around. So as you can see, the blinker stock, it works, but its action doesn't feel very mechanical, and it actually does not make a connection to the blinkers themselves. So I'm thinking that it needs to be cleaned because it's probably never been cleaned ever. And once we do that, hopefully we can get a good connection and our blinkers will start working. And the first thing that needs to be done is we need to remove this plastic cover, which is really easy. There's just a couple of screws, take them off, and then you're good. Now that we have the cover off, you can see this is the mechanism that we're specifically going to target, just because this is where the blinker stock works. But unfortunately, this all comes off as one unit, so we have a few things to take off before we can remove it. First thing that we're going to do is remove the negative terminal on your battery, and then we're going to disconnect these two harnesses. Super brittle. And then we've got a couple other connections that you need to remove. It's these three. They're all color coded, so you shouldn't get them mixed up. There are a couple extra connections over here, but we don't need those. Just these three right here. Kind of tough to do, so be careful. There we go. So now we're totally disconnected. This whole mechanism is like a clamshell. It's got two halves to it. And basically when you remove that screw right there, and then there's also another one down here that you remove, it's literally just going to break apart and fall off the steering column. Once you get this removed from the car, do yourself a favor and put a towel on your workbench. This is going to help it make sure that you don't lose any of these little screws that we're going to take off. Then get some electronic cleaner, some electronic thicker grease, and some general all-purpose lubricant. We're going to be trying to recondition all these levers and everything, and we want to make sure it's clean and lubricated. First things first, let's get some cleaning done. Now that I have this cleaned up and completely dry, you can already see it's so much more shiny, which is great. But with the cleaning comes the loss of lubrication. So now this lever is really hard to turn. It's going to be kind of seized up if we left it like this. So now we're going to go ahead and start lubricating things. But first, let's go over a little bit of anatomy. So this thing is for the horn, and you can see mine is worn down a little bit. That's just because of all the years of use, but basically this needs to be touching the ground for the horn. And there's a whole bunch of washers and pieces connected to this, but basically when this moves, it also moves an element inside this box here, and this box is your blinker box. So this holds the connections for your blinkers. This is for your high beams and your headlights. Mine works, so I'm not going to be touching this. And also, I hear that this is pretty brittle. So what we're going to do is we're going to lubricate everything. Then we're going to open up this guy and make sure that all the connections are good within the box for the blinkers, and go from there. It can be kind of hard to be precise with your lubricant, so what I did is I got a blunt needle off Amazon. You can buy a pack super cheap, and I just put a little bit of this lubricant in there. So now I'm just going to start putting the lubricant in all of the areas that might need a little bit of help. One being this guy right here, and this should move freely. It shouldn't be all gummed up. Just kind of work it into that joint. We're going to do the same thing with this one. Another tutorial said that you can use just 20 weight engine oil for this, so you can do that too. I just didn't have any on hand. And for this middle joint, you're just going to want to add lubricant to all the different layers of metal, because there's a bunch of different layers in there. Do it on the back side, also this gear back here, I found a lot of dirt actually within this crevice right here, and then also a bunch of crevice in here. So when I was cleaning, a lot of black gunk was coming out of this area. You just want to make sure everything is nice and lubricated, and then just start working everything in. See if you can start moving this a little bit. Oh, see, it's already started freeing up. So I'm just going to work this in a little bit and let it do its thing. You might have to go back and do it again later. You might need to revisit the lubrication stage a couple times just to make sure that everything is lubricated well. But now we're going to flip it to the back and we're going to open up our blinker box. The blinker box is slightly different depending on what year of Z you have. Some of them have a box that's kind of like an independent unit. Some of them have little metal flaps that you need to open up here. It looks like this one is kind of more of like a motherboard material. You can see it opens up really easily, so just push this to the side for now. And now we're going to start working with this inner part of the blinker box. So just to demonstrate the way that this works is that these are our contacts under here for our blinkers. And as you can see, the shape of this copper lead here, or brass, I'm not sure what it is, when it's in the middle position, none of these are contacting any of these pads. But then as you move the shifter stock, this is going to move up, and this upper corner is going to contact this side contact over here. So basically when it's in the middle, it's neutral, and then as you go down, this is going to contact those leads, and then it's going to send the signal for the blinker. There could be a couple reasons why your blinkers aren't working. Maybe these contact pads are dirty, which mine actually are pretty dirty, so I'm going to clean those up. Also, this thing might be gummed up, this little copper thing. And last thing, you can take out this copper thing, and there's a little spring inside here, right in the middle of this little plastic guy right here. Let's see if I can get that to focus. Yeah. So you can pull that out and stretch out that spring just a tiny bit, but not too much. I'm going to do that as well just to give me a little bit extra pressure up on these pads. But I think after that, you just want to make sure it's all lubricated and everything is all cleaned, and you should be good. Now the first thing I'm going to do is clean off these contact pads, and I'm going to use some 1500 grit sandpaper, something super delicate, because you don't want to be taking away material from these pads, you just want to be cleaning them. And there we go, nice and clean. Next, I'm just going to take this copper lead that we were messing with earlier. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to clean the edges on this, doing my best not to remove any material, but just to clean the edges of it. And there you go, easy peasy, so much cleaner. And just want to make sure it's shiny on the top and there's no green corrosion or white corrosion. And it should be a great place to contact these pads here. Next, we'll transition to working on this little box here with the spring in it. So I'm just going to use this screwdriver to pull the spring out. Then all I'm going to do, take this spring, put your fingernails in it, and we're just going to pull it apart just a little bit. And that should be enough. Maybe I'll do a little bit more. Okay, we're going to remove this plastic thing. So to do that, you go in here and there's a little plastic thing that sticks out, and you can kind of lift that up and it pushes out this plastic thing. Might be kind of hard to get it out, but once you do get it out, we have a little ball bearing. See that little ball bearing right there? Hopefully that's focused on the camera, but there's a little ball bearing right there. So we're going to take this guy out. Okay, so there's a little ball bearing here, and it's held on by a little bit of grease. So I'm going to put this down. We're going to remove the ball bearing. But see how gummy and black this is? You don't want this to be sticky. You want it to be smooth. That's why they use grease there. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this up, and then clean up the ball bearing, this little metal thing, and then put some new grease on there, and that should be good to help. So what this does is that the little plastic guy sits in here, and that little ball bearing helps it move in that little channel. So when you move this, it moves it inside that channel. So we're also going to clean on the inside of this. That way we can get some new grease in there, and it's all fresh. First, I'm just going to use a little bit of brake cleaner, because brake cleaner is literally the best cleaner on the planet. Just a little bit. Then I'm going to use a Q-tip, and I'm just going to go in there and try and get as much of the junk out as I can. So remember, when you clean stuff, all the lubrication goes away. So you always want to add back that lubrication once you clean it. See all that junk? all that black gunk. That's what's making your shifter feel, or your blinker feel, gummed up, and it doesn't have that mechanical metal on metal feel anymore. After that, I'm going to do the same thing with this little plastic piece, but I'm going to use electronic cleaner for this because I know it's safe on plastic. Look there, it's already so clean. Alright, so after this, I'm going to let this dry completely. And then once it's dry, we'll add back that grease and add back the ball bearing. Before we close this up, I'm just going to start adding grease to where we need it. So I have a little bit of electronic grease, and I'm going to put a teeny tiny bit on each one of these little pads. Not a lot, just a tiny, tiny bit. And then I'm going to use the other side to kind of spread it around. Then we're going to do the same thing on the top of our little copper guy, just so it has something smooth to go on. We'll do the same thing to our little ball bearing. And then last, we're going to do again the same thing with our little plastic guy. Put it on the bottom so that it smooths, it goes over that metal easily. And then you can use a little glob of grease right there, and what that's going to do is it's going to help us keep the ball bearing in place when we put it back. So you take the little ball bearing, put on there, see, it's not going to fall off or anything. Then I'm going to take a little bit of our all-purpose grease and put it at the bottom of this little cavity here, right in there. That way our plastic will continue to slide nicely. Now we're going to take our little plastic piece with the ball bearing on it, get it lined up, and then use your thumb to kind of guide it in. Then once it's in there, you can see the ball bearing is going to rotate on that metal bit, and then it'll just slide right into place. You can see that little plastic shaft will scoot down towards this, and that's what allows it to pull that from side to side. After that, we're going to put our spring back in its place, and then our little copper guy on top of that. And then we're going to start tightening this up, but I'm just going to go ahead and double check everything, as you should as well. I'm going to do some more lubrication, but then you put your casing right back on top of that, put your screws in there, and then that's it. You're just cleaning the contacts and making sure everything is lubricated. Let's give it a try, see how it goes. Oh, nothing. Alright, let's try hazards. Alright, so we get one. Oh, now I get both. Alright, let's see if they're working. Maybe it's just my imagination, but... Oh, okay, so something's fixed. Something's fixed. Okay, so we got hazards. But why don't we have blinkers? So there's definitely something funny going on, because I can't get the hazards to come on in any kind of like repeatable pattern. So there's something definitely wrong with this. I know that the right stock is definitely working. Everything's working totally fine on that. Also too, I know that the high beam switch is working just fine, and the action of the blinker stock feels much nicer. And with that too, it also bounces back just the way it's supposed to. So now it's back to center. Do the same thing. It comes back to center. So I know that all the work that we did is good, and I would imagine that the blinker connections are good because we cleaned them and everything. So I wonder what else is going on with my system to make it so my blinkers and my hazards aren't really working. I have a feeling it might be this guy. So we didn't get the blinkers to work today, but we did have a couple positive things happen. The first thing that was positive that happened was that the hazards worked for a split second, and because the hazards were working and they were flashing, that means that my flasher relays in the car are perfectly fine, and those are good. The other thing that was good is that we took off the blinker stock, we took it apart, lubricated it, and cleaned everything. All the contacts and everything looked totally normal to me, and it didn't seem like there was anything going wrong. So I'm pretty confident that the stock and everything in there is perfectly fine, so there's probably something else causing my blinkers not to work. So the next thing I'm going to check is the hazard switch. We're going to do that in another video. I'm going to pop it open and see what's wrong with it. But if you guys like this video and like seeing the inside of the blinker stock system, like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment below with any suggestions of how to fix the blinkers. Otherwise, we'll see you next time. Thanks. Stock is working well now. Oh, okay.